Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I am Twinkle Quatra from IME Law College and currently an intern at Lexis and Company. And today I am going to cover rest of the sections that were remaining under general exception of IPC. So I have told you till 86. Now I will cover from 87 to 95, and then the general exception topic will be covered as I have told you personal defense in my previous video and till section 86. So there are three parts under general exception. Do watch my videos for the better understanding of the concept. So 87 says act not intended and not known to be likely to cause death or grievous hurt done by consent. It means that if a doer knows that this act will not cause any grievous hurt or death to the other person, and the consent of the other person has also been taken, and there is no intention of the doer to cause death or grievous hurt to that person, then it will not be under this 87 section, and this will not be considered as offense. Also there is a condition that to suffer that harm or by reason of any harm which it may be known by the doer to be likely to cause to any such person who has committed to take that risk of that harm. It means that if the doer knows that that act will cause a little harm to that person but not grievous hurt or death, in that case also it will not be considered as offense. For example, if a person that is of 18 plus age, he gives his implied or express consent of rafting, then in that case there is no intention of the doer to cause death or grievous hurt, and he doesn't know that that act will cause these intense offenses like death or grievous hurt, but he knows that there could be a hurt, and the person who is going to give consent also knows that there could be a little hurt, then also it will not be considered as offense. Now there is condition that the person should be of 18 plus, and the consent he or she will be given can be implied or express. Now 88 says act not intended to cause death done by consent in good faith for person's benefit. It means that if a person does any act that is with no intention of causing death, that is in good faith, and that is for the person's benefit, then that will not be considered as any offense. So the Bare Act says nothing which is not intended to cause death is an offense by reason of any harm which it may cause or be intended by the doer to cause or be known by the doer to likely to cause to any person for whose benefit it is done in good faith and who has given a consent, whether express implied, to suffer that harm or to take the risk of the harm. So it can be implied to doctors. So for example, a surgeon knows that this will give a little harm or can cause is likely to cause harm, the act can cause harm, but the surgeon is doing it for the good fit of his client, then it will not be considered as any offense. Now 89 says act done in good faith for benefit of child or insane person by or by consent of guardian. So it is similar. If a act is done in good faith for a child or an insane person by the guardian of that person or any lawful person that is liable for their well-being, or by any doctor or without the consent of that child or insane person, then that will not be considered as offense. Now 89 is done. 89 has some exception. First is that the act which is doing should not be in intention of causing death. Second is that the act which a person is going to do should not cause any death or grievous hurt or should not be likely to cause grievous hurt. Third is that there should not be any voluntary action for causing grievous hurt, and fourth is that there should be not any abatement regarding that act. So these were exception. Now 90 says consent known to be given under fear or misconception. It means that if any consent is given for any under any misconception or fear, then that consent will be void, and if that person who is doing the act knows that the consent of the other person is given with the fear or misconception, then also it will not be consider consent. And if the consent of insane person, it says if the consent is given by a person who from unsoundness of mind or intoxication is unable to understand the nature and consequence of that to which he gives his consent, then also it will not be considered as consent. If any insane person or a person who is intoxicated at that time, or a child who has given the consent without any understanding or knowledge, then it will not be considered as consent and it will be void. Now 91 is a bit typical. It says exclusion of act which are offences independently of harm caused. So let's read the bare act. The exception in section 87, 88, 89 do not extend to act which are offences independently of any harm which they may cause or be intended to cause or be known to be likely to cause to the person giving the consent or one whose behalf the consent is given. 91 means that the exceptions that we have read in section 87, 88 and 89, that will not be extended if the act a person is doing is an offense independently. It means that, for example, if a person does a miscarriage, or with the consent of the woman he is doing, or he is saying to any doctors so that a miscarriage can be happened, then that will be considered as offense, and no defense will be given, as miscarriage is an offense independently. It is a wrong thing, right? So 92 says act done in good faith for benefit of a person without consent. It says that if the person doesn't have given consent, or he is incapable of doing or giving the consent, and in that case, if there is a good faith and the act is done with in the benefit of that person, then it will not be considered as offense. And the exceptions that we have read in section 89 are same in this 92 section. So 93 says communication made in good faith. It means that if a communication is made in good faith, then it will not be offense. For example, if a doctor told a person that you have cancer and you are going to die in this much time, and by hearing that person got a heart attack and he dies, then because it was in good faith, it is a duty of the doctor to tell these things to a patient, then it will not be considered as offense. Now 94 says act to which a person is compelled by threat. So it says except murder and offense against the state punished with death, nothing is an offense which is done by a person who is compelled to do it by threat, which at the time of doing it reasonably cause the apprehension of instant death. It means that if someone is threatening that person to commit any offense, and that person has the reasonable reason for that, if he will not do that act, there will be the consequences of death, and he does that act, then he will not be liable, except he should not commit any murder, and he should not commit any offense that is against the state and whose punishment is death. Other than that, these two things, if a person does any act which is under threat of any third person, then he will not be liable for any offense. Now last section of general exception says act causing slightly harm. It means that if there is a slight harm by an act, then it will be no offense, because these are the things that can be solved between the two person, and no one will get involved because it is a very little thing. Right, now let's read the bare act for your understanding. Nothing is an offense by reason that it cause, or that it is intended to cause, or that it is known to be likely to cause any harm, if that harm is so slight that no person of ordinary sense and temper would complain of such harm. It means that there is a so slight harm that no one will complain about it, then it will not be considered as offense. So in this video I have completed all the section of general exception. Do watch my part 1 of general exception. This is part 2, and a private defense video is has been also made by me. Do watch all the videos for the better understanding, and I hope you like this video. If you have any doubt, you can comment me down below, and keep watching.